Prime Minister Christie expects to receive a report in the next 2 weeks from a team of consultants engaged to assess a proposed gaming system in the Bahamas. Mr. Christie says the consultants will bring clarity to the government and those on either side of the divisive issue.
Yes, I indicated to the Bahamian people some time ago that we were going to use consultants who also advise other governments, and including the British government. They have been in the Bahamas now for a number of days. They have held meetings with me, and they have held other meetings. They have made themselves as familiar as they can be with the way in which gaming is taking place in these web shops. And they have discussed with me my vision for the lottery, and with also the minister responsible for gaming, Mr. Obi Wilscombe. I expect them to now meet with the casino side of the industry, because we're at the same time examining the laws and regulations that govern play in casinos. And what we want to do is to ensure there is no conflict between what we're doing in casinos and what we're doing with web shops outside. Overall, what I anticipate is to receive a report in the immediate future, sometime within 2 weeks, that I will give consideration to and then take to the government for its consideration. And then I will set the date for a referendum so that the proponents and opponents to the question that will be framed will have ample time.
Well, while the government prepares to hold that gambling referendum by year's end, the Christian Council is holding to its opposition. Our TV's Munning spoke with Christian Council President Ranford Patterson, who believes other methods of raising money should be considered.
Opposed to this gambling referendum. That's my honest opinion.
And Bahamas Christian Council President Reverend Ranford Patterson still isn't sure about the contents of the pending gaming referendum. He told ZNS News Thursday that once the government outlines their intention for the people's decision on gaming is when the real discussion can occur. With the announcement of United Kingdom consultants already here to address gaming, Reverend Patterson doesn't believe the government needs the people to make a decision on it.
We have so many Bahamians who are falling through the cracks. We see them every day in the church. We have to pick up a lot of people in this country every day. A lot of people who are for this numbers business, they don't deal with this every day. You know, we deal with it every day. We see the devastation, we see the hurt, we see the pain that Bahamians are going through presently.
The Christian Council president acknowledged that most of the religious community opposes the gaming referendum. He believes the numbers industry has already cast a negative impact on our society. But Reverend Patterson implores Bahamians who plan to vote in the referendum to think of the long-term effects and not just a quick fix.
We have in this country for many years, the country has grown, we have achieved without the numbers business. So we've done well as a country. You know, why do we feel now all of a sudden we have to go through this numbers racket in order to survive? We don't need it. We have a God on our side who has been very good to us.
Altavis Munnings for the ZNS News Network.
Well, fast cars equaled big money for the Bahamas last year, and this year tourism officials are hoping to top the $1 million injection which Speed Week provided. Andrew Knowles has more on the need for speed.
Plans are now into full gear for the highly anticipated Bahamas Speed Week. The event is scheduled to get underway November 24th, and already a number of Bahamian businesses are being fueled by the local event after being contracted to provide a number of services. Speed Week President Jimmy Lowe says one of the goals of the event is to be a part of the general engine that makes the local economy tick.
We did an economic study on the impact that Speed Weeks had last year for the local entrepreneur. And it was in excess of $800,000. That took into account electricians and plumbers and people that rented tents, people that supplied services for catering, numerous other things that took place.
Now the target is to have between 50 to 60 cars. And like last year, those rare and vintage cars will race along here at Arawak Key. But according to Mr. Lowe, delayed infrastructural works could present a roadblock.
The Ministry of Works and the Deputy Prime Minister have undertaken to do all these improvements in and around the Arawaki area. Do we physically have enough time to accomplish it? The Ministry of Works are telling me yes, so we have our fingers crossed.
Event organizers recently paid a courtesy call on Governor General Sir Arthur Foulkes, who serves as patron for Bahamas Speed Week.
I think it's a wonderful thing. It adds a new dimension or a different dimension to our tourism product, for one, and also for Bahamians. Bahamians are very excited about it, and I'm looking forward to see it grow from year to year. And from what I was told this morning, I understand that this year is going to be even bigger and better.
And as a direct result of last year's event, local charities benefited. The organization presented 4 local charities with a generous donation raised at a gala event and auction that was sponsored by Pictet Bank and Trust.
We actually renewed our commitment this year to sponsor the charity ball that last year managed to get $40,000 to various charities in the Bahamas. Obviously, we're very excited about doing it again and really have great hopes about managing to raise even more money at that occasion.
Andrew Knowles, ZNS News Network. We have one correction to make. Earlier in the newscast, we referred to the late Paul Adderley as the former Deputy Prime Minister. He was, in fact, the former Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly. Continuing with news, it is the intention of the Northeastern Division Pastors Alliance to assist schools in rehabilitating at-risk youth, specifically those on suspension, in becoming more productive when they return to school. The new center, located adjacent to and owned by St. George's Anglican Church, is where the program's leadership will direct the initiative. To date, students attending the suspension centers have successfully passed the test with the help of the Northeastern Pastors Alliance team and the church. President and Pastor Dale Moss identified the root causes of those problems.
The greatest extent of problem is usually from the families and the homes. And hence we have this extra ingredient of networking with the families from the level of the church community, where volunteers will not simply have parenting classes, but we want to engage the parents where they live. We want to go to their homes and be of greater assistance to them.
Now, the Pastors Alliance partner with the Urban Renewal program on a daily basis. While the Kemp Road Urban Renewal has yet to experience any challenges from the youth in the area, Officer in Charge, Inspector Kendall Smith, explained that the role is always to maintain law and order.
In doing that, we develop crime prevention strategies, and we get information that we can address, like persons who may be roaming the streets, not attending school, and we can assist also in the schools in keeping with the program, the school policing program.
Now, the Northeastern Pastors Alliance welcomes assistance from other private and public stakeholders to rehabilitate the country's at-risk youth. A big night last night at Christ Church Cathedral for Anglicans as the newest priest was ordained. The Reverend Lyndon Douglas took the holy oath for a priest and the Bishop of the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands. The Right Reverend Leish Boyd consecrated the Reverend Douglas and ordained him the newest member of the priesthood. He is currently stationed at his St. Matthew's Anglican Church and said his first Mass. He was ordained in time for the Feast of St. Matthew on Friday and that church's patronal festival this week. Father Douglas' ordination fell on the Feast of St. Theodore of Tarsus. 2 more priests will be ordained next week, also at Christ Church Cathedral.